Like most guys, building a bigger chest has always been high on my list of physique goals. If you walk into any well equipped gym, you're likely going to find a ton of options: barbells, multiple brands of chest machines, cable stations. You could easily come up with 100 different exercises to train your chest. And while I still do like using that kind of equipment, they do have their limitations. Flat and incline barbell pressing is a staple for a lot of people's chest training, but especially if you're somebody that trains alone, safety can become an issue as you can get stuck if you fail. And machines don't typically allow for as much adjustment based on your body type. Some people fit into the machine really well, but other people might be too wide, they might be too narrow, too short, too tall. Your arms are too long, your arms are too short to fit into the design for the people that machine was made for. Then there's cables. Cables are super safe and easy to adjust, but sometimes just getting into position to do different exercises can be more exhausting than doing the set itself once the weight you're using gets up to a certain point. So I've been favoring dumbbell training more and more lately with my own training and with the clients that I work with. They're safer than barbells if you fail. They allow for more individual adjustments than a lot of machines do, and they're easier to get into than cables, especially when you're training heavier. Plus, if you have a home gym or if you train in a crowded commercial space, dumbbells might be one of the most practical options to get in a great workout without relying on a bunch of equipment. So I've pulled 5 of my favorite dumbbell exercises to train your chest, and you can take these and you can mix them into your regular workout, or you can put them all together for a full workout using nothing but dumbbells. I've even put them in exactly the order that you should do them, and at the end I'm going to give you the sets and the reps for each exercise, so that way you've got a full workout that will absolutely put some meat on your chest, and you need nothing but dumbbells. Now, before we get started, here's a disclaimer. This list does not include your typical flat and incline dumbbell presses. It's not because I think they're bad exercises. In fact, they're some of the best, but literally everybody knows that. So instead, the list I created is focusing on exercises that I would turn to when you're no longer making progresses on those flat and incline dumbbell presses. The following movements are intended to hit your chest in ways that flat and incline presses won't, so you can use them to break through size and strength plateaus. All right, exercise number 1 is a steep incline dumbbell press. This is an angle of a set at about 60 degrees as opposed to a typical 30 or 40 degree angle that most regular incline presses are done from. This is rapidly becoming my favorite chest exercise. Most people think that an angle this high is going to hit your shoulders too much, but especially if you've got narrow shoulders, this can hammer your upper chest. You want to aim to build your strength on these to use a weight that's about 80% of what you would use for a regular flat dumbbell press. So for example, if you normally press 100 pounds for 8 reps on a flat bench, you would want to be aiming for at least 80 pounds for those same 8 reps with the steep incline press. All right, exercise number 2 is a decline dumbbell press. To me, this is a super underrated chest exercise. A lot of people for this kind of angle will use things like dips. The challenge with dips is that they're fairly unstable because your body's not supported by anything. And a lot of people do find that dips can be problematic for shoulders and for elbows. The decline press is a nice alternative because it's much more stable and it allows you to control the angle that you're lifting at a little bit better. Most people do these with a barbell, but the decline angle with a barbell, it puts the chest up so high that it really shortens the range of motion. Your chest is touched by the bar before you really get into some of that deep stretch position. The dumbbells allow you to move the weights around the chest to get yourself deeper, and it allows you to bring the weights closer together at the top so you can focus on a better contraction than you could with your hands on a fixed width barbell. All right, after 2 presses, no chest workout's complete without some type of fly. I like a conventional 30 or 40 degree angle here. We've already hit a high incline and a decline, so we don't want to retread positions that we've already done. I like to add a slight rotation of the hand and shoulder. So on the way down, you're thinking about rotating the thumb up toward the ceiling, which is going to move some of the stress up higher into the pecs, kind of right near the clavicle. And then you're going to rotate the pinkies in towards each other at the top. So the squeeze position is going to bring the stress down a little bit more into the meaty part of the pec. All right, now this is an exercise I don't see a whole lot of people doing. In fact, I didn't learn this exercise in the bodybuilding community. This is actually a powerlifting exercise that I had learned probably 10 or 15 years ago. This is called a key press, and you can think of the movement as what happens when you're twisting a key in a lock. You're going to start in a regular overhand position, and as you come down, you're going to rotate, letting the arm track out at about a 45-degree angle, and you want to find a position where your pinkies are almost right beside your chest. Having the elbows a little bit closer to your side at the bottom is going to reduce the strain on your shoulders, but it's still going to allow you to work a full range of motion. It's using an arm path that's different from the two presses that we've done already. Final exercise is the stretch push-up, which I learned from John Meadows. This is using dumbbells to elevate your hands off the floor, which is going to allow you to get a deeper stretch than you would if you kept your hands on the floor, hence the name, the stretch push-up. I tend to like focusing on the bottom position. I'll come down, I'll pause for a split second, and only go up about 3/4 of the way to maintain continuous tension on the chest and prevent the triceps from failing before my chest does. All right, as promised, here's how you can put this together for a full workout. We're going to start with the steep incline dumbbell press, and you're going to do sets of 10 until you either miss or barely get 10 reps. It should take you at least 4 or 5 sets to get there, so don't start too heavy right out of the gate. But I want you to hit just one single set with that peak weight. After that, you're going to rest for 2 minutes, and we're going to do a back off set. We're going to use about 70% of your heaviest weight. So if you were using 100 pounds for your final set, you're only going to use 70 pounds for this back off set. After we've done the steep incline press, we're moving on to the decline press. This is pretty simple. You're going to find a weight you can do 10 or 12 reps with, and you'll do 3 sets with it. Expect to lose a few reps on sets 2 and 3, but what I want you to do is once you're getting to a weight where you can do 12 reps on the first set, then the following week you're going to increase that weight by 5 pounds. So if you were using 85 pounds and you got 12 reps on that first set, you're going to jump to 90 pounds next week, and you'll stay with that weight until you're able to get 12 reps on the first set, and then so on and so forth. All right, after our presses, we're hitting the incline fly. This is nothing fancy. We're doing 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps, and you're only going to rest about a minute between sets on here, working at a little bit of a faster pace. Don't focus on how much load you're using. Make sure you're getting a full range of motion. Really hammer the stretch and the squeeze. All right, now for the key press, because the third pressing movement in this workout, you don't need a ton of volume. 2 good sets of 10 or 12 reps should be plenty. If you don't know how much weight to use, I want you to start with 50% of what you did for the decline press and work up from there if you need to. All right, we're finishing with the stretch push-up. My favorite way to do this is to pick a certain number of reps and try to get it in as few sets as we can. I like to aim for a total of 50 reps. I'm going to do a set, go to failure, rest 45 to 60 seconds, and then go again. We're treating this like one very extended set with fairly minimal rest breaks. We're using this to try to hammer a huge pump. When you finish, you should feel awesome. All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I want you to give this a try the next time you're in the gym. Let me know what you think of this workout in the comments. If you haven't already, I want you to like this video and subscribe to our channel, and I will see you guys for the next workout.